All right, welcome everybody to Drawing with Mr. Hutch. Today we're going to be talking about some different shading techniques. So last time we talked about value and creating form in our shapes. We did some shading of a circle. We did a shading of a square, or you were asked to do the shading of a square. Today what we're going to do is we're going to do different techniques of shading using our pencils. Okay, so let's start with the most common one and probably the one that most of you did yesterday. So I'm going to start with a circle, okay? And for the most part, I think people did hatching yesterday. Hatching is shading using a line, all going in the same direction. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is follow along. We're going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different circles across this page. Hopefully we'll have room. Okay, so we're hatching using single lines going in the same direction. There's a quick hatch of a circle, okay? That is single hatching. Just clean up our edges. Ooh, it's kind of a yucky eraser. All right, so this is called hatching. Number 1. Number 2. Get some practice drawing circles here today too. Number 2 is called cross hatching. So the way that this works is we are going to do hatching in one direction. And then where we want to add value, we want to make it darker, we're going to cross hatch. Which is basically making a perpendicular hatch to the hatch that already existed. Okay, there's a cross hatch. Again, I'm just going to clean up the edge a little bit. Cross hatch. Okay, what's cool about these different techniques of shading is they also create texture in your objects. Okay, they make each object look like it probably maybe feels a little bit different. Okay, so the hatching looks like it maybe feels a little bit different than the cross hatching. Okay, next is scumbling. So scumbling is basically making small circles as your shading technique. Again, the value that you give to the shading is all dependent on how hard you're pressing. We go over to add more value, add more darkness. Create our scumbling, okay? Scumbling, S-C-U-M. Said M, wrote a B. M-B-L-I-N-G. Scumbling. All right, so we've got hatching, we've got cross hatching, we've got scumbling. Fit another one in here. All right, after scumbling comes stippling. Now, stippling is just this. We are using the point of our pencil and we are dotting in value. This is a technique in painting called pointillism, in that you just use different colors, different size dots to create your entire painting. Nothing is done in strokes. It's all done with dots. So this is something that can be recreated using a pencil as well. Okay, as the dots are closer together, it creates a darker value. As you start to get into the lighter areas of the object that you were shading, you're going to start to spread out your points. Okay, so the further apart your points, your dots are, the lighter the value becomes. To the point where maybe you only have just a few dots. Okay, so as we move into the light, fewer and fewer dots. All right, and that is called stippling. S-T-I-P-P-L-I-N-G. Okay, stippling. Okie doke. Next, we have smooth. Now, I said that many of you would have done hatching yesterday. Many of you probably did smooth as well, and that's where we just get right down on the side of our pencil to get that really smooth feeling of value. Again, this is all just based on the pressure that you're putting on your pencil. I'm doing smooth shading. I can't help but just bring my finger in to finish it off because it just blends it so nice, and you clean up your edge with your eraser. Okay, so there's the smooth. And the last one we're going to do is contour. 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 All right. Now, contour lines are lines that follow the shape of the object. So in terms of this circular shape, our contour lines are going to spiral out. So we're going to start here in our highlight, and we're going to go really light. We're going to spiral out. As we go, it gets darker and darker and darker. Lines get closer together, still following the contour shape. Okay. Okie doke. We've got hatching, single lines moving in one direction. Okay. The closer they are together, the darker value you're going to get. Also, how hard you're pressing. Okay, so there was our hatching. Then we had our cross hatching. So we've got lines going in both directions. Again, the closer together your hatches are, and the harder you press, gives you a darker value. Right? Then we had scumbling, the scumbling technique, tiny circles. Okay. Stippling, using the idea of pointillism. Keeping those dots, those points close together will make it seem darker, further apart as it gets lighter. We've got our smooth technique. Putting down lots and lots of value and then blending with our fingers. And the last technique is contour. So drawing contour lines that follow the same shape and they get closer together to create a darker value. And that is our shading techniques. They add value as well as texture. All right, that's all for today. I look forward to seeing your version of your shading techniques. Thanks very much. Have an awesome afternoon.